also want to quickly ask you about Suicide Squad 2, The Suicide Squad. It's done.
I saw a little bit of it in ADR and it looks incredible. It's a fun one. It's different than the first one. I haven't seen you in so long.
I know. It has been too long. I want to start with this new show, Chop It Up. It's going to come out on Facebook Watch. And not only are you the host, but you also are a producer on this series. So I first want to know, what is it about this show that sets it apart, I guess, from other cooking type shows?
I feel like that's such a great question, because I don't look at Chop It Up as a cooking show. I look at it as a conversation series, and we are cooking by way of talking, if that makes sense. There's nothing out there right now where the older generations can really understand and feel how Gen Z is feeling. So I wanted to make Chop It Up happen, where I just invite some homies over and I'm cooking their favorite snack, but the focus of the show is talking about topics that mean the most to us, whether that's dating or ethical technology or family or everything in between. It just gives us an opportunity to talk and connect, but also gets my supporters just a better view into who we are as people.
Sure. What do you hope that we learn about you through this series, or what will we be surprised to learn?
I feel like everybody knows me as like, yes, Storm is an actress and we've seen her in these projects, but I feel like it just gives you another look at like who I am and what I have interests in. My episode with Niles Fitch, he talks about his cousin Rayshard Brooks, who was murdered in 2020 by the police. So it's just different things to where it's a full range of topics, but in a macro sense, we're talking about, again, things that mean the most to us.
Do you feel like with that last episode that you mentioned, Niles Finch, do you feel like we're going to learn more about your take, I guess, on Black Lives Matter and police brutality? Do you hope that we can take away more from the conversation through this episode?
Absolutely. I feel like we both are so passionate about Black Lives Matter and the movement and the things that we have continued to see, but I feel like they were amplified last year. But we just really unbridledly expressed ourselves and expressed how we felt, and really we wanted the audience to know that yes, there are things that are heartbreaking, and some days we might not have the words to summon of how we're feeling, and then other days we might have all the words and we're talking all day, but we want people to know that we're here and we're here to stay and we're here to take up space.
You don't. It's only when I'm around you. I'm a little nervous.
Could we potentially see Zendaya on the show?
I wish, maybe next season. That's my big sis.
I do want to quickly talk about Euphoria season 2 because it's just such a good show. We saw the 2 sort of solo standalone episodes focused on Rue and then Jules. Yes. Where does season 2 pick up in relation to those episodes?
Ooh, I mean, I feel like they're totally separate. Right before we went into lockdown, which was March 13th, I'll never forget it, we were actually doing table reads for season 2. And the scripts were incredible, but I hear that they have changed immensely. So I don't really even know how or what direction season 2 is going to go in. But if it does stay the same, or if some of the scripts stay the same, it's truly incredible. And Sam, he continues to outdo himself.
So you guys aren't even back in production on season 2 yet?
So we don't start the full production up until I think a couple weeks and maybe a couple months. I just want to get back in there and just get going.
That is crazy though, because for some reason I thought you guys were potentially already shooting or had some sort of idea where things were going. Do you think they would include the pandemic in the show?
I don't know, but I feel like it would be very relatable. I mean, that's why I feel like people love our show, is because we are very raw, uncut, and we show what's going on in the world. So I wouldn't be surprised if Sam slipped that in there.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Is there anything that you would love to see in Gia's journey? I mean, we saw her in season 1 sort of test the waters. Would there be trouble ahead for her?
Possibly. I mean, I feel like even though we didn't really get to see much of her in season 1, I feel like she is the anchor or the root to Rue, and that's her little sister. And of course, the things that Rue does or the things that Rue even says affects her and her family. But I think we'll be able to see Gia grow up a little bit and become herself, and whether she makes the right decisions or the wrong decisions, we're just gonna have to see. But I'm excited to get to explore her and for people to really learn who she is as a character.
I love that.
Yes.
We obviously watched the show. You have such a good head on your shoulders. How do you not slip into the mistakes that we see so often, in the world, but also in this show? What's the secret for you in staying so on top of everything?
I would say one above all else is just my faith, and believing in God, and knowing that everything happens for a reason. 2, my family and my mama, they keep me grounded, they keep me sane, and they always bring me back when I need to be brought back. And then I would say 3 is just me accepting that I'm just a 17-year-old girl trying to figure it out. Even though I get to do all these cool things and these interviews and these television shows and all these campaigns, like, I'm just a young girl trying to figure it out. So if I do make a mistake, I try to learn from it and accept it and move on and try to be better.
You also called Zendaya your big sis, and she plays your big sis on the show. Has she ever imparted anything on you to help?
Of course, we've had conversations about being in the business or just like being a young person and being a young woman. And I know that I can lean on her for any type of advice that I need, but just being able to like see her move through the world and see that she is an amazing human, and she really is herself, and even though she hasn't said Storm just be yourself, I feel like just watching her from Shake It Up to now, she just moves throughout the world with so much grace and so much love and kindness. So I always try to think about her when I'm feeling down or feeling like, oh my God, why am I in this place at this time? I know that she would be like, girl, you belong here.
I also want to quickly ask you about Suicide Squad 2, The Suicide Squad. It's done.
It
what
is.
Can you say about your character? I think you play Idris Elba's daughter, right?
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know who I play. Her name is Tyla. That's what I can give you. But I actually, I saw a little bit of it in ADR, and it looks incredible. So that's all I can say. I don't know what else I can say. I don't want to get in trouble, but I'm super excited to be a part of it.
What was it like? I know you can't confirm who your character is, but what was it like to, work with Idris Elba?
He's incredible. He is the nicest person to work with, but yet so focused. And it's so crazy how he could like go in and out. So he would be his character, and his character is like serious, and then when they would call cut, he would just like go back into conversation and laugh and talk, and I'm like, this guy is incredible. So he definitely kept me on my toes, but we had a great time.
What will surprise us about your character and also this sequel as a whole?
Ooh, man, it's a fun one. It's different than the first one, but I feel like it is incredible. And I just don't want to get in trouble. I'm trying to select my words wisely. It's a fun one. It's different from the first one, but I think it's going to take people on a ride, and there are lots of twists and turns and surprises. And as far as my character goes, she's a little spicy, so you guys can expect a little bit of spiciness from her.
How is it for you to play spicy?
Ooh, I feel like it's something that I could tap into. Like, she's just like a little sassy, and she has a little bit of swag. So I feel like she kind of related to me a little bit.
Okay. Does she have powers or anything, or you can't tell us?
I don't know. I totally forgot.
You're good at your job.